Oh, yeah, there
it is, ladies and gents. Another 1 o'clock spot for you guys. Business Bros episode brought to you by Pipeline Insurance. And we're going to be talking about some stuff that maybe should be going on TV. Well, we got somebody who's putting together a TV series, business, tax development, all that good stuff. So let's find out how he's going to make that happen. How are we going to get to watch this thing? How do we make taxes and business development sexy? Let's find out. Here we go.
Shut up and sit down.
The Business Bros podcast was created for you. Learn from the business professionals who come to share their stories. Find out what's working in business and social media, what's hot and what's not, straight from the mouths of successful entrepreneurs out there doing the real work. And now, welcome to another episode of
Business Bros. Yeah, here we go. Let's do the thing. Ham, drop some heat, baby.
Hell yeah. All right, all you business pros out there. Before we jump into the show, just a quick reminder to please subscribe on whichever platform it is that you're listening to us on today. Give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe, drop a review, help other like-minded business owners find value from our awesome guests while we rise up in those podcast rankings. We'll sincerely appreciate every single one of you for it. And if you want to be a guest on the show, we'd love to have you on and learn from you as well. Go to www.businessbros.biz, schedule your time. Don't forget to follow us on all our social medias at Business Bros Pod. All right, everybody, we're so excited to bring yet another incredible guest to the Business Bros Pod. Our guest today has spent the last 12 years of his life dedicated to business development, taxation, and money management while wielding his God-given gift to build the lives of the people around him. His mission is to use his experience to help others who have great ideas and who just need the right opportunity to find success. And between his coaching program and upcoming TV series, our guest is building a platform to help thousands succeed. Our guest wants to leave a legacy, and with his help, aspiring business owners can build their businesses from the ground up while keeping compliance and scalability in mind. Joining us today out of Lancaster, California, from the Enterpriser Accelerator Program, welcome to the show, Jeremiah Flowers.
Whoo, fire. Here we go, ladies and gents. TV series, Jeremiah, the Enterpriser. It's hard enough to be in business, but to try to create content in a TV series, that's going to be one feat that I want to know how you're going to conquer. In the meantime, let's start off with the basics. Tell me a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, even though James nailed most of it. How'd you get into this space, and why a TV series?
Yeah, so I'm Jeremiah Flowers, 39 years old, married. Been married for 13 years, got four, awesome toddler boys. I grew up in the Los Angeles area, Crenshaw district, between USC, Crenshaw area, a little bit of Culver City area. So all around that area, born and raised, born and bred, LA kid. How I got into doing a TV series, I've been in this business, the taxation business and business development business for over 12 years now. Started as an entrepreneur in '01, just coming into various things that I was very skilled at and good at. Then getting into the taxation industry in '09, and then just kind of better developing my gift in business development, leveraging taxation, which opened up a whole nother world of just understanding, the root system of money. When I got into that industry, taxation, it really helped me to understand the past, present, and future of money. And what got to a point to where I wanted to kind of put this stuff on a TV screen, because, taxation and business development industry, now the business development industry is attractive, but the taxation industry it's not really attractive, because when you think of taxes, you think of like bad news, but the way in which I was really like unraveling and just kind of revealing to people how to leverage, different tax codes and the things of the government, it was attractive to me. So I said, how can I make this thing attractive to people where they can understand it, it can view it on the big screen, and it can hit home a whole lot more. So I just developed all for 12 years of my life. I just took all the work I've done and clients I've encountered, prospective clients I encountered, and people I've helped, and I just put it into a TV series. So, here I am.
And
You know?
it's coming to fruition very soon, right? Like your TV series isn't out yet. It's going to be. I mean, I was looking at your website. You're set to premiere your first episode next month, right? What's that
Right.
production been like, and what are we going to see in December?
The production is actually done. Now we're just in editing. So yeah, it was a pretty smooth transition. I'm the screenplay writer as well. So I screen read everything. I executive produced everything, and so forth. So it was actually pretty smooth. You know, getting the capital wasn't hard. So me being, you know, a business developer, a tax professional, understanding money, not even looking at the capital factor of getting it done. It's just overall like, hey, this is a vision that got to get out there. This got to get going. So capital wasn't the issue. It was just, I need to figure this vision together to get it done, get the right people, locations here and there. And it was a smooth transition, guys. Smooth transition.
All right, tell me about this episode 1, dude. Like, I'll give you an example. This week, we just had the trailer drop for Spider-Man, the new one coming out, right? And, what's the things? Far From Home, Ham? What is it? I think it's Far From Home, right?
It's No Way Home, but you're gonna compare this man's work to like.
No, it's
the
different.
Work
it's different. It's different.
I'm like, where are you going with this, man? Leave the man alone.
But in order to premiere things, there are always trailers that drop, right? And so my pitch to you was, or my question to you was, like, describe to me what episode 1's going to look like. What's that? If you were to drop a trailer, if you were going to put bite-sized, you know, take your long episode and break it into bite-sized chunks, what's the teaser part of it?
So I did drop a trailer. It's on IG. It's pretty much just kind of structured with the log line, because just the content, you know, that'll be talked throughout the short film. It kind of hits home. So it just kind of hits on you know, let me see, without trying to give you the whole thing. It hits on just a business owner going through just, you know, various tests and trials in their life, and just trying to understand the ups and downs and the rigmaroles of life in the midst of you know, being in business. So and it really hits on that key part, double taxation, which a lot of people don't understand. And when it comes to making money, how they're being, you know, slapped twice in the area, you know, where, you know, the IRS is trying to take away everything, you know, they have with the money that they're making. So just to give you a little bit, not give you everything, and just wrapped it up with just a little bit of you know, some actors in there and just some other things, you know, just made a short brief to where it's enjoyable and people can really just they're looking for the next episode.
Oh, dude, financial education is one of those things that we all need. Go ahead, Ham. I know you have a question when you pop in.
I absolutely have a question. So you said that the name of the show is Double Taxation. Did I get that right?
That's the name of the first episode. The name of the show is The Enterprise. So
the Enterprise. So the first episode is Double Taxation. So I want to know where that inspiration came from. You said that a lot of companies are experiencing that. So there's a good chance that I'm in that mix, right? Because I don't know everything. So how do I make sure that I'm not getting taxed? What are some stories that you've seen in your experience where people were getting double taxed and they didn't know about it?
Well,
welcome to
that inspiration came from, right? The inspiration came from me helping people over the course of 12 years, you all, and just seeing people make 6 figures, 7 figures, and even sometimes 5 figures, and just digging in a situation. I'm just like, hey, you're making good money, but you're paying like 40 to 50, 60% in taxes, and just like, what's going on? You're making money, you're good at something, but it's like you're not seeing it. So when I got into the realm of corporate taxation and understood how corporations work and taxation and corporations work, it really intrigued me how a lot of people can make so much money in the midst of in a corporation and regulate money, shelter it, and pay little to no taxes. People like Jeff Bezos, Donald Trump, Mark Zuckerberg, and so on, they make so much money in a corporation, and just begin to understand how they're able to like make massive amount of money and pay little to no taxes. So when I got into the corporate tax sector and understood certain things, the ins and outs, the pros and cons of it, I said, oh my God, this is a whole other world. So everybody that's making money under their social security number, they're getting taxed up the wazoo. You know what I mean? You're making money, you're good at something, whether you're a mechanic, whether you're an actor, whether you're a stage setter or a truck driver on your social, but you're getting double tax, you know, 15.3% on self-employment tax and another 10 to 37% on income tax. So I'm just like, how can people avoid getting taxed like this? helping people to understand how the corporate world works. So that's where the inspiration from, this episode came from.
Answer your question, Ham?
I hope
Yeah.
that wasn't a lot.
No. It totally does. So you mentioned those big names, right? The Donald Trumps and Mark Zuckerberg and Bezos of the world. Like, obviously, those guys have enormous tax shelters. I mean, they have learned how to play the game at like elite levels. So from what you're telling, from what I'm gathering from you, like, there's a lot of people that are just getting started in business that really don't understand how that works. It's like people sign up, to create an entity under their own names, like as sole proprietors or whatever, and they don't understand like the tax implications of that. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. And the everyday tax principles that Jeff Bezos, Trump, and Zuckerberg implement, everyday people can implement the same thing. They're implementing the same tax principles that anybody nationwide can implement. It's just a matter, are you willing to step into that arena and begin to consistently implement this stuff in your life?
So I feel like that's the hard part, man.
Yeah, that is.
That's the hard part. So a little backstory here. I'm working right now with a company, and we're creating a partnership, right? To put it in the simplest terms, we're creating a partnership, and there are contracts and there are things involved like that, and I've built a business before. I've built an insurance agency, over the past 7 years, but working with this company, the way that they make me think, the way that they operate makes me believe like I am stepping into the big leagues, right? Like I'm leveling up in my business knowledge and where I'm at in business. And like, it forces me to hire people that know stuff better than I do. And I feel like that's the message, right? When you're talking about all of these things that people don't know, a lot of times it's because they don't want to pay for the advice.
Right.
Up,
Exactly.
Tell me like how that affects people. Like, tell it from your experience, how you've seen changes when people are like, oh, I don't want to hire somebody, but then they finally, buck up and hire an expert, and all of a sudden it changes everything. Am I right?
You're right.
Tell me about it.
It's a matter of are you willing to pay the cost to go to distance? A lot of people want free information. They want to get something for nothing, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. But if you want to go to the next phase and you want to go to the next tier in what you're doing, there's a cost for everything. Like you said, you're in a place where you're doing business at a certain degree, and it's like the people around you, like, hey, you got to come up to another phase. There's a whole nother tact and a whole nother level of strategies in which one has to be willing to acquire mentally. And that's what the enterpriser does. He helps people to come from employee mindset into the place of business ownership and investor and help to understand these principles. He's baby stepping you through this stuff, because it's not about when it comes to money, it's not about what you know. It's not about who you know, it's about what you know. So it's just it's the principles and the knowledge of this stuff that you have to be willing to learn, and have a mentor to teach you, an advisor to pay for this stuff that can kind of pave the way for you.
So the enterpriser is the character that's going through your storyline, right? So we're starting off with double taxation, and just based on our little conversation, I'm assuming this guy's making some money and he's realizing that his bottom line isn't what it should be when his top line revenue is kicking ass.
Well, it's actually people that he's coming in counter with that has those situations. So he's the guy that's coming in, advising, directing, and guiding. So it's the people that he's encountering every day that has those problems.
All right. Well, let's talk about some of these issues, because and James is bringing them up, and I kind of want to hover on them because the people who listen to our show tend to either have a business for a few years and are looking to level up, or just getting started. Like, they figured out they are good at something and they're leaving their jobs and they're ready to start their own venture. And what James was hinting around was things like, what entity should I open up? And is starting an entity a tax route, or is it a liability route, or is it both?
It's both. On the liability part, I tell everybody to get with a lawyer. I'm not a legal advisor. They can advise you legally on how to wrap that thing and how it can work out for you long-term legal-wise. On the tax end, I can hit on that. Starting an entity will actually keep you from getting double taxed. Because say, for instance, you're healthcare workers. In 2020, everybody in the everybody in the healthcare industry made 3 to 4 times their income. 300,000, 400,000, 500,000. They worked around the clock, in the clock, over the clock. They worked through the clock, and they made so much revenue to where they got taxed on every dollar that they made. And a lot of people in these industries, they went exempt. So if you made 300,000, 400,000, these people went exempt where they were supposed to give 37%. 37% of $500,000 is a lot of money. So if you went exempt, you got a big fat tax bill when it comes to tax time. So it's like, how do you deal with that? How do you get rid of that? And then for those that have entities, they're able to leverage those entities to pass through expenses, pass through various things when it comes to their business. Because 2018, when the tax laws changed under Trump's administration, it made it to where all W-2 working class people could not itemize any deductions anymore, to where they used to write off things like gasoline, internet, sale, meals, miles. They can't do that anymore. So now they're stuck with this big fat tax bill, and they're not able to leverage and mitigate that tax debt.
So 2018, there was a lot of tax law changes, mostly for employees, but on the flip side, through the pass-through entities, we were able to take some additional credits on some of these pass-throughs, right? As well as a 21% corporate tax, right? So how does that even benefit you more as an entity?
You said, how does it benefit you more as an entity? You phased out.
Okay, so how does that 21% tax rate for a corporate return, how does the pass-through credits for some of these pass-through entities work as far as benefiting the reason why you want to get an entity versus staying W-2?
So here's how it benefits someone as an entity. So if someone makes all of this money throughout their W-2 job, and then they have an entity. So say, for instance, corporate taxes is 21%. I think I'm going in and out.
Oh, we lost your sound. Your mic.
Yeah. So corporate.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm here. So corporate taxes is 21%. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
We lost visual.
All right.
Okay, there we go.
There he is.
There we go.
Visual and audio. We're good.
All right. So
Good thing this isn't live.
So corporate taxes is 21. So corporate taxes is 21%. Anybody that makes money through a corporation, that's 21% based on all the revenue that you make. So I got my calculator here. I like using my calculator. So say, for instance, somebody made $250,000 through a corporation, right? 21%. That's what $52,000 that someone has to, pay in corporate taxes. Okay, well, you have rent, you have internet, you have cell phone, you got business expenses, you have car notes, yada, yada, yada. Now that $52,000 can wipe away easily. Now you're left with about $180-some thousand tax free that you can keep. And depending on what state that you're in, say for instance, we're in California, all one has to do is pay that $800 tax penalty to the state of California when it comes to the taxes that you owe. Now, I don't know about you. I'd rather pay $800 than $52,000.
So what you're explaining here is it's not how much money you make, it's how you earn that money specifically. So what you're describing here is when you're a W-2 employee, you earn money. Uncle Sam and whatever state you're in, if you're in California like I am, California's going to take their piece, the state's going to take their piece. I get what's left over. I file my tax return and kind of reconcile what the federal and state have and see if I'm getting any of my money back. But what you're describing is when you earn income as a business owner, you earn it all first, expense everything I possibly can out, and then what's left over is what I pay taxes on. Sound about right?
Exactly, and actually what's left over, and depending on how you're classified in your corporation, if you're an S corp, you get taxed once. If you're a C corp, you get taxed twice. C corps get taxed based on what comes in and what goes out. If you're an S corp, you get taxed on what goes out. So say if you get a profit of what, $189,000, you're going to get taxed on that pass-through entity income. When you if you pass it over to yourself on the individual side, you'll get taxed on that. Okay, $189,000 you're passing through from your entity on your personal side to claim as your income. Hey, no problem. Guess what? I have this car that I bought for the business that I'm going to utilize to depreciate. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to depreciate a $65,000 Range Rover, which will wipe away whatever tax debt that I have on the personal side now. And now my adjusted gross income still shows $189,000, and I have that padded depreciation in there. So when you go to buy a home, lenders are going to say, hey, okay, you make $189,000. We see that, okay, you have your income decreased because you have this car. But hey, we look at depreciation is it's not a tax deduction that comes out of your bank account every day. So what we're going to do is add that back in. So when you go to buy a home, your purchasing power is high, just as if it was when you first got into the mortgage deal. And you pay no taxes on the personal side, no taxes on a corporate side, and you bought a home with no tax debt, with your adjusted gross income high as you need to be, keeping all the purchasing power that you need, using the depreciable asset.
All right, so this is where it always gets confusing for people, because this is where people get a lot of terminology mixed up, right? What you described was a tax deduction. It doesn't mean that what you're buying is free. It still requires you to take the capital from your business and buy something else. When people hear tax deductions like that, it almost always translates to the non-CPA person as, oh, this is free money, I should spend it. Help me rationalize what a deduction is in the eyes of the IRS, and then what it is in the eyes of the entrepreneur.
So in the eyes of the IRS, a tax deductions are various things that you use inside of your business, to build the business, develop the business, and hedge against tax debt. To the entrepreneur, some of them, they all have their perspectives. A tax deduction is everything, that I'm utilizing within the business to, run the business, have fun in the business or build the business or whatever, which is fine. But if one wants to be calculated in the deductions, now this is how I look at it, you all. If I'm, for every $100,000 I make, I know I'm going to have to give up 21%. So if I made $100,000 this month, and my corporate tax bill is 21%. That's $21,000 I have to have a deduction for. So what I'm going to do, hey, you know what? I'm going to go buy some equipment. I'm going to maybe purchase a vehicle. I'm going to maybe bring in a contractor to do some work that can build the business, or that can increase the business, or do something that can channel towards developing the business and make more revenue, so I don't have to give $21,000 to the IRS. I'm going to put it in the business. It's a good deduction. It's solid. And I can keep the rest of that, $90-some thousand or $80,000 tax free. And I just leverage that $21,000 on equipment, maybe a new car, hire a contractor to do some repair, maintenance, or whatever. And the rest of my money is mine, in my pocket.
See, and it sounds like magic. It sounds like fraud. It sounds like you're doing something you're not supposed to be doing, right? But really what it comes down to is the entrepreneur just doesn't know the rules to the game. And I always refer back to freaking Monopoly right here, right? And I always tell people, like, the first time you play Monopoly, you sucked. You didn't know the rules. You had no chance of winning pretty much, right? But the second time you played Monopoly, now you had a chance of winning, and the only difference is you understood the rules to the game. When you know the rules to the game, you have a better chance of winning. What you're describing is understanding the rules to the game. And for those of you who are out there listening, who are like, okay, I kind of understand that, and you still have question marks popping up in your head, it is November 18th right now. It is November. This is the time when you're supposed to be sitting down with your CPA or tax preparer so that you can make some of these judgment calls ahead of time. Jeremiah, how important is it for people to sit down with you now? Not January, February, March, April of next year, but now.
Man, you said it's important to sit down now. Like a lot of people going out shopping Black Friday. Hey, that's fine. They're using their rent money to buy gifts and this and that. Hey, that's fine. Hey, but when first of the year comes around and you got that tax bill and you need you got to have a strategy on what to do. It's a problem, but it's vital to talk to your tax professional and or your accountant / CPA all throughout the year, especially in the first, second, and third quarter, especially those years. So that way, in the fourth quarter, if you want to do these things, you didn't got knowledge and advisory all throughout the first and second and third. So you say, hey, fourth quarter's mine. I'm chilling. I'm vacationing. I'm Christmas shopping. I'm doing this, and I have monies that are set aside that have a purpose that I know this particular amount of revenue is going towards that, and I know how I can be able to leverage. So it's good to do it now, preferably first, second, and third quarter of the year. But do it now before you hit them malls. Do it now before you hit that car lot. Do it now. Do it now.
Jeremiah, you sound like you're conservative, man. You sound like one of those people on Fox News who's only backing up these rich corporations so that they don't pay any taxes, dude. That's like that's tax evasion, right? Aren't you evading taxes? Isn't that what's going on here?
Well, if one understands the Irs Tax Codes, and these things are in the tax code. The tax code is about 7,500 and growing to 70,000 pages. But when you have a good tax professional, I know, a good tax professional and a good accountant, they can help you to understand these tax principles so that way you can leverage them in your life. And the way I'm talking, a lot of people are like, man, this stuff does not sound legit. No, it's very legit. It just average everyday people, working class people, their minds just can't conceive these principles. They're just like, this can't be true. This is too good to be. No, it's true. These principles have been around since the early, I believe, maybe 1900s. When the United States went bankrupt and the central bank bought everything. So these principles have been around for centuries.
And it's not tax evasion, ladies and gentlemen. It's tax avoidance. Avoiding taxes is a 100% legal strategy if you use the rules that are given to us. Here's the thing, right? And Jeremiah, correct me if I'm wrong. Congress makes the rules. And
right.
If there's one stereotype that we all can agree on is that these politicians, they are always going to do something in their best interest to get money to be reelected. And oftentimes what they do is they pass individual tax loopholes for individual industries, different rules and regulations. And this is why the tax code is so inflated. The only thing that Jeremiah is talking about here is he's reading and staying up to date every single year with our CE to understand these new laws that are coming into place, to understand where deductions are valid and where they're not valid anymore, to be able to say something like, you used to itemize on Schedule A every single year, and then starting 2018, you're now taking a standard deduction. Like there's things that change every single time Congress meets together. And Jeremiah, you are staying on top of these things. So we're here towards the end of our time, and I want to make sure that people know this is the cool thing about taxes. You're not regulated to stick in one particular state, are you? So anybody can really work with you, right?
Exactly. And we work nationwide. So I also have my other company, which is Tax Nerd. I'm the founder and CEO of that. So, and I have, quite a few subcontractors and a whole team of people with that product / service that I developed, years ago. And it helps people nationwide, so I have Tax Nerd and the Enterpriser working hand in hand.
So tell me, if people want to get a hold of you, how can they do that? How can they work with you or check out their trailer and get ready for your series coming out?
Definitely check out the series. Go to my IG page, go to my website, theenterpriser.com. Go to my other tax advisory firm, taxnerd.us, and I employ everybody. Go find out about me, read about me, see who I am, what I do, and how we service people nationwide. Because when people understand and they read about you, I like to give consumers the right to go. So you make the decision if you want to come through me or find somebody, just as good as me or greater. So but go to those websites, the Instagram handles, the social media handles. Check us out. We're here to be of a service to you and answer questions that you may have and do a complimentary consultation.
That's it, ladies and gents. It's always about that consultation. And I want to make sure that I remind you guys all, taxes are right around the corner. January is almost here. We are in the fourth quarter, and this fourth quarter is the shortest quarter of all of them. Not in days, it's just the fact that you're not going to be working as much. So make sure you sit down with your CPA, take one of those off days, sit down with your accountant, your CPA, whoever it is, and start strategizing for that next year. Jeremiah is doing that with his clients. He's making sure that they're being proactive in their spending whatever they need to during this holiday season to close out the year. All the fun stuff happens in the fourth quarter, including tax planning. So make sure you guys stop by his website, the enterpriser.co. The M fell off, all right? There is no .com. It's just
.co. Somebody had .com.
And head over there and check out what he's got going on for the TV series. Look, here's the thing. If I could encourage everyone to learn about taxes, not that you have to become a tax professional and write tax returns, but you need to understand how this system works. You need to understand and have a general idea of how taxes are implemented in your business so that you can ask good questions of the professionals who are experts. They know 7,700 pages of tax code. That's not a little book, ladies and gents.
Oh, yeah.
So even the best professional doesn't know everything, but if you ask the right questions, they know how to get those answers. And so it's up to you to become educated. And if he's putting on a TV series that's going to educate you on certain things, might as well learn that way. It's fun that way. Jeremiah, thank you very much for coming on the show. Really appreciate you taking the time. One thing that we love to ask of our guests is to let us know what their experience was like on the show. So if you can give us a little testimonial, what did you think of the Business Bros podcast?
Oh man, the Business Bros, I love y'all's energy. It helped a lot to extract out, just those trap doors that are at me, because your energy, your questions, and your interest in taxes, and that's why I'm here to make taxes attractive. So I love y'all's energy, man. I look forward to having another opportunity to come on again and hit on some other topics that consumers nationwide just need insight on. But man, I love it. This is bomb. I like this, and it's in Cali.
And it's in Cali. We're right here in San Diego. I noticed your number was an 858. I was like, oh, okay, he's local, boy. He's close by. All right, ladies and gents, look, here's what it comes down to. You need help. It might be taxes. It might be something else. Our network is huge. This is episode 855. We've interviewed over 650 different professionals. If you need help with something, reach out to me. At Business Bros Pod is my, it's on this side. At Business Bros Pod is my social media handle. Send me a DM. Let me know what you need help with. I will hook you up with professionals just like Jeremiah to get the answers that you need. And if you do so, we're going to put you in that raffle where we're giving away 10 free vacations courtesy of hotelexcetera.com. And you get an entry when you ask for help. The person we send you to is also entered into the raffle. We're here to be of service to you guys. So what do you need help with? Let us know. Send me a DM at Business Bros Pod. You guys later on today at our 4 p.m. spot. Until then, peace, and we're out.
Thank you for listening to the Business Bros Podcast. Are you looking to get more clients or to increase your income? Hernan, the business bro, can help you generate referrals through the power of podcasting. And James, the insurance bro with Pipeline Insurance, can help you effectively add insurance to your existing business. If you are ready to create wealth today and generational wealth for tomorrow, email businessbros@seeusfirst.com to schedule a free consultation or join the Business Bros Network, www.businessbros.biz.